Gentlemen, we're going to start off with the first topic of the day, and that is the recommended proposed changes to the college football season. Which, if in case you didn't know, I cover college football. I love college football. All right, big. Obviously, you guys know my fandom for the Ohio State Buckeyes. I've been a Buckeyes fan since I was young. A lot of things are being talked about, and we will get into that right now. So, the American Football Coaches Association is recommending changes to the college football calendar that would end the season the second Monday in January. Now, we know the national championship is the last week of January, if I'm corrected. So, you're in, it's an interesting one. They announced Tuesday, the board announced Tuesday, 4 proposed calendar changes: ending conference championship games, reducing open weeks and seasons from 1 to 2, which is essentially your bye week. In college football, you get 2 bye weeks. That this would essentially lower that to 1. Preventing an exclusive window for the Army and Navy game in December, but allowing postseason games to be played on the same day, and reducing the minimum number of days between games to no fewer than 6. Holy shit. I mean, this plan comes in the response to a longer college football season with 12-team college football playoff. That's how we do it now. With the possibility of 16 to a 24-team model that are being discussed by large commissioners, but it's not being is not a specific number being reported. Structuring the season this way will also better student athletes by more closely matching the academic calendar and the transportal window. So there are a couple pros and there are a couple cons to this proposal. What do I think about it? I'm more on the cons than the pros. We could start with the pros, but man, do I want to get into the cons, because there are a few things that stand out to me. But let's talk about the good thing, right? Okay, if you want to talk about athletes, we know the transfer portal comes at a weird time. A lot of these kids, a lot of these coaches are hitting transfer portals, and they're negotiating deals with other schools for more money during the mid-season going into the playoffs. We saw it with Lane Kiffin last year. He should have been coaching Ole Miss in the playoffs, but instead he took a job at LSU before they had their playoff run. I hate that shit. I genuinely hate that shit. I don't like it with the players. I understand the players need to go out. They need to go to another school if they're not being used. But come on. You can't have these guys hitting, or coaches hitting transfer portals right before your playoff run, right in the middle of your season, all because you think it's over. So that's a pro. Yes, if it sort of quote unquote fixes the weird college football calendar, because right now the season's, it's kind of a mess. It's a lot of controversy behind it. This will shorten the playoffs, reducing the bye weeks by a week. So like I mentioned, you would, in college football, you get 2 bye weeks, you would get 1. More playoff access, okay? This is where I don't see a positive in it. People are going to tell me this is a positive. I think it is a fucking negative. The more playoff access, and I'll get into that when I cover the cons of this proposal. But if you want more playoff access, because even with this 12-team expansion, because I think the 4-team playoff was stupid. Especially with, I think they realized when Florida State didn't get in that year, when they should have been at number 4, and Alabama got in. They want to do 12 teams. They do it, and there's still a lot of controversy. And I'll get into, again, that's the one I want to talk about the most in this. You'll start the season earlier, which, okay. And yes, you get a potential quality games. I'm giving cons and pros that me and my producer, who my guy's not here tonight. I'm doing this on my own, but we were talking about it a little bit off air. Let's talk about the cons. No conference title games. You make a whole fucking big deal since this new 12 team playoff expansion has been around that, oh, um, you know, if you win your conference championship games, the Big 10, Big 12, ACC, uh, Pac 12, the four major conferences are the ACC, the SEC, the Big 10, and the Big 12. If you win those four conferences, you get a first round bye in the playoffs. So, what the fuck does the conference championships going to mean this year? Nothing? You have to make conference championships mean something. Killing the conference championship, those are some of the biggest games of the year. No one gives a fuck about bowl games. Nobody gives a shit about the playoffs in the first round now because you get all these dumb bullshit teams from the MAC and the fucking American Conference and the Mountain West and the Mid-American. We don't in the Sun Belt. Like, what the fuck are we doing? This is the What are we doing? You're getting rid of a lot of big games by not having these conference championships. And if you want to talk about ratings and money, which I guess I'm in that little bit of a pro wrestling mindset. That's all the fucking fans talk about nowadays. So I'm gonna talk about a little bit right here. Do you know how much money you're losing on viewership, ad revenue by not doing a conference game? You like to make all these bowl games fucking themed. The Pop-Tart Bowl, the Dr. Pepper Bowl, the Chick-fil-A Bowl, all this shit. You don't think that the conference championship games are going to add more money into your greedy ass pockets? The greedy conference commissioners' pockets? Let's talk about, again, I kind of mix the revenue is a big part of it. This is the part I can't fucking stand. Let's talk about one thing that me personally, I root for Navy. I've gotten the privilege to attend sports camps there, so I always root for them. You're really gonna have the Army and Navy game during the fucking playoffs? You're not gonna give the Army and Navy game its own day? Are you serious? You don't think the military guys and girls want to have a weekend, a Saturday to themselves? I understand the game in reality does not mean shit. It's a cultural thing. It's a patriotic event. The purists are going to fucking hate this. The military guys are going to fucking hate this. The president of the United States is going to fucking hate this. You're going to piss off a lot of people by giving other games during the Army and Navy game. That's huge. In the college football world, that is huge. Again, I don't know if this is gonna get clipped. I don't know if this is gonna be controversial or whatever. That game, in all reality, in terms of meaningful playoff contention football, it does not mean shit. But again, it is a cultural event. It is an American patriotic event. And you piss off a lot, again, of fucking people by doing that. Let's get into this. The playoff expansion. If it goes to 16 teams, 24, who the fuck in their... This is not March Madness. This isn't basketball. Whoa, what the fuck? So you're gonna cut the conference championship games and you're just gonna add more teams to the playoffs so you get more playoff games to make up for those conference championship games in terms of revenue and viewership. Fuck you. We don't want to see Sun Belt teams and all the bullshit conferences that I just named in the playoffs. No disrespect. I don't want to see James Madison in the playoffs. I don't want to see Coastal Carolina in the fucking playoffs. I don't want to see Boise State in the playoffs. I don't want to see San Diego State in the playoffs. I don't want to see Tulane in the playoffs. South Florida, even though they had a decent season, I don't want to see them in the fucking playoffs. The playoffs are supposed to be the best of the best in college football. You adding other teams, it already is a joke when you have to have schools like Tulane and James Madison in the fucking playoffs, but we leave out schools like Michigan, or not Michigan because they fucking suck. We leave out schools like Alabama. We leave out schools like LSU. Who I can't remember off the top of my head who was fighting for that 14, 13, 12 spot. But my point is, you give it to your power conference, or those lowest conferences, what? Strength of schedule? They don't fucking play anybody. And when they do play somebody in the first round in the playoffs against a Big Ten team or an SEC team, they get fucking destroyed. It is a ridiculous proposal. It is a ridiculous committee meeting. Why the fuck do you want to have 16 to 24 teams in the playoffs? I think 12 is even too much. I think 6 to 10 is the sweet spot. Guys, the state of college football is in a shit. With this NIL shit, now they want to change everything. Look, the schedule's a fucking mess. I think we all agree. I think we all know that this schedule needs to be changed. That you cannot be playing your national championship game at the last week of January. But if you do this, you're overlapping with the NFL. And oh boy, you want to talk about viewership going down? Come on. No one. Granted, the games are going to be on Saturdays, whatever. But the playoffs, if you have it on Saturdays, Sunday, there's a lot. I don't know the specifics of the dates and all that stuff that they want to move the season. I'm just telling you reports. I'm reading reports. I'm talking about reports. At the end of the day, they're trying. The college football's trying. The committee's trying to fix the problem that everyone bitches and complains about, including myself. It's not the schedule. It's the playoff expansion that really. It's like, what the fuck? I don't understand the playoff expansion. I really don't. But we'll see.